You probably heard that Colombian is full of narcos, has to do a lot with cocaine, Pablo Escobar, and Netflix show you an entire story about Narcos, Pablo Escobar, Griselda Blanco, and everything that happens in Medellín, Colombia, a long time ago. And that's why you might be wondering, hey, Colombia is all about drugs, all about this negative stuff that happened, but what you don't see is the thing that we're gonna talk about in this video and why it's so important to start targeting your recruitment inside of Colombia, the country of Colombia itself. Long time ago, Colombia had the worst history in terms of crime, narco traffic, and just had a really bad reputation all across the US because they were sending goods to Americans in order to insert, you know what, that white powder. But nowadays, what people don't know is that Colombia is one of the richest countries to hire talent from. And in this video, we're gonna cover why Colombia is not just about coming to have fun, party, women, the beautiful city, food, but it's also about networking high quality individuals. The people are going to make it for you, and a lot of foreigners are coming every single year. I have an example here of Omer Bloch, who's been living for over 2 years here in Medellín, Colombia, and we're gonna cover these 3 points so you can make better decisions in your hiring process so that your business can actually grow and you can take it to another level with A players. My name is Esteban. I'm Colombian myself, so I'm going to tell you exactly my point of view. And Omer Bloch, who is an American citizen, has been living in this country for a while, will tell you exactly what he also thinks about. So the first point is that for a long time, Colombia has been seen as this wrong country to go and visit, and also has been seen as just a country just to have fun and take advantage of the city itself. But Omer is going to tell you why that is absolutely wrong.
What's up, guys? My name is Omer Bloch. I've been living in Medellín for actually 3 years consistently since March 2021, and I've learned a lot about Colombians. But what we have really gathered is proof of concept. And by that proof is the fact that we've hired the most amount of Latino Americans specifically from Colombia. We've hired almost 500 people from Latin America over the last few years, and majority of them have come from Colombia. We found a lot of amazing, talented people here in Colombia. And one of the things that Esteban just mentioned, the point number one, is that people have the wrong perception of Colombians. They think that people here are, everybody's doing drugs, parties, and it's just a party city. And let me tell you something. Yes, there is party here. Obviously, there is drugs. There's drugs everywhere in the world. However, some of the hardest working people, the most loyal, the most determined people, people that just want to take care of their family, live here in Colombia. They're people that will do whatever it takes to make sure their family is set up for the future. And most importantly, they want to be a part of a company that grows, that they can say they're proud of. They are going to schools, they're going to universities to be able to find remote jobs, to be able to support their family. And look, they're learning English from an early age. A lot of these people are watching movies, cartoons, whatever it is in English. So they're learning and perfecting English to be able to work for an American company, because at the end of the day, the money is in the US. The money is in Canada. It's not in Colombia. It's not anywhere really else in the world. There's 35 million small businesses in the US, and over half of them are hiring remote team members now, and many of them are going to be coming from Colombia. So point number one is that people have the wrong perception of Colombians.
Omer has proven to you that Colombians are not what you exactly think they are. And even though Netflix has given you a different perception and YouTube has given you a different perception, that is just media that is really transferring you things that is not really in reality what is happening. You have to come to the country and travel outside of the US to actually get to know what is really going on. Did you know that 40% of people in the US don't have passports? That means that they've never traveled outside of the US. They've never gotten to get to know a new culture, get to know a new country, and even have the chance to even come to Colombia. So here comes the second point. Colombia is proven to have a very similar culture that you would find in the US, or it's a culture that is going to easily adapt to the American culture that you're very used to in whatever you are, right? Michigan, Texas, Oklahoma, you name it. So if you are in the US, you've noticed that there's a lot of Latin Americans in the US, living in the US, doing different type of jobs, from all the way from cleaning jobs all the way to high manager jobs. And the truth is that Latinos adapt really, really well to the American culture. So Omer is someone that has been able to see this firsthand as he's living here every single day.
Over the last 3 years, I've been living in Colombia, like mentioned in the beginning of the video, and I've been able to connect with some of the most amazing entrepreneurs, business owners, and people that come to Colombia for the first time and end up living here. I've actually helped about 10 people personally move here full time from the US, and they've been here for the last couple of years, and we're really just getting started. We have an amazing community. We actually have a group of over 800 entrepreneurs that travel from all over the world. And one of the things that this happens, right? Number one is that it brings a culture that Colombia is not really used to, right? But specifically a culture that a lot of times they're going to end up working for. American culture, Canadian culture, European culture, because one of the things that Colombia presents is the ability for people to come here. I mean, we're in the middle of winter for most of the world right now, for a lot of the world. And right now in Colombia, it's freaking hot. Like we're in the beautiful mountain scenery. It's sunny every single day. So people want to check out amazing climate. They obviously want to see the beautiful places that Colombia offers, but also experience the culture that Colombia offers. And when we do that, when we travel from one country to another, we bring the culture that we come from. And ultimately, if you're the right person, you have the right mindset, and you really want to help the country become better, you're going to make that happen. That is exactly what myself and my friends have done. So we have hundreds of entrepreneurs, business owners that are loyal to the business, that are loyal to making the country better. They're providing Colombia with so much ability to improve because we just want Colombians to get better, right? Whether it's with the English, whether it's understanding the culture of the U.S., how we operate, how we work, what we actually want. Because ultimately, if people find out what we want and they can help us get there, we're going to make sure that we take care of them. And over the last few years, Colombia has blown up with the amount of extranjeros, which is immigrants or foreigners. Because of that, Colombia is now infused with so many different cultures, understanding what do Americans want? What do Canadians want? What do Europeans, Australians, what do they want? How do we work with some people like that? And that is why people continue coming here, because Colombians truly understand the culture that we want and that we're trying to build, and ultimately help our companies grow to the next level. And this is why we've been able to hire so many Colombians over and over and over again, because they get it. They absolutely get it.
And guess what? The Colombian time zone is fully tied up sometimes to Eastern time zone and sometimes to Central time zone, which means that now the communication that you have with Colombians are going to be instantaneous. The communication is also going to be making sense to your business in the US, whether you're in the Eastern time zone, Central time zone, Mountain, or even Pacific. Why? Because they're so used to working these hours. So they will work the regular 9 to 6 hours that you require without being tired and actually having the right energy for whatever it is that you give them to do, whether that's a cold caller, lead manager role, all the way to a top lead, some sort of manager, team lead position that you want to have them. So that is one huge thing, because one thing that you haven't realized is that people are working at night in the Philippines, for example, or somewhere in Asia, somewhere in Africa. And it's okay if they do that for a year or two, but when your body takes a hit on that time zone and that sleeping pattern that they develop, it honestly is going to take a hit on the performance as well. And this is not going to happen in Colombia just because we are aligned on everything around the world. And that's why we're going to go to a third point, the best cities to actually hire from in Colombia. So right now we're in Medellín, Colombia. Medellín, Colombia is very well known to have people that are very sales oriented. These people are hustlers. These people know how to negotiate properly. These people will always try to actually sell you something with a huge markup. And they're very used to just trying to lower down the price that you want for things, because they are just born that way. They're born with a very sales-oriented mindset. And that gives you the ability to hire people like lead managers, cold callers, even closers. So in Medellín, you're going to find that a lot of foreigners come here, and now Colombians are actually forced to learn the language. You're going to notice that a lot of people that learn the language of English actually have gone above and beyond to learn it by themselves. It's not because it's a second language here. It's not because it's an obligation or it's a must in schools. No, they have to put the effort on their own way. That means that these people are willing to work harder, achieve more, and they have that sense of direction that you need from an A player. There's another city that you need to actually target. You can do this through LinkedIn, Indeed, Facebook ads. It's Bogotá, Colombia. Bogotá, Colombia is the top city in Colombia. And I'm not gonna go and fight which one is better, whether Medellín or Bogotá, because that's an entire different episode, because there's a rivalry between both. But Bogotá is just proven to be the top tier capital of Colombia and even of Latin America, with biggest airport, highest amount of money, because there is higher economy. Things are a little bit more expensive there, but people actually have a higher level of education. The best universities are located in there. The best type of jobs are located in there. Everyone that comes from outside of the city want to live in Bogota because there is bigger opportunities and better opportunities for national jobs. But now you're gonna actually take someone that is top tier from Bogota that has learned the English by themselves, went to school, got a bachelor's degree, maybe a master's degree, and just want an opportunity in USD remotely and work for an American company directly. And these people are going to be very excited. You can start paying them from $5 all the way to $8 an hour. And people from Bogota may want a little bit more, but you want to understand that it's not the price that you have to pay, it's the return that you get from the individual. Because one individual can give you a 10x multiple of return in your company, because this person actually brings in the quality that you need and the same quality that you need in an American employee. So you want to even visit Bogota, Colombia at some point and get to know by yourself the difference between cultures and two different type of people that Medellín is versus Bogota. You're going to notice that Bogota people are a little bit more conservative, a little bit more intellectual. I'm not going to generalize here, but you're going to realize that Bogota is huge. It has over 10 million people of population in the city. And you're going to notice that the northern part of the city is condensed with the richer part of the population, while the southern part of the city has more of the middle class, poorer class of the population. And you're going to notice that if you target within the northern part of the city or the center part of the city, that's where you're going to find people that have actually learned the language of English, have gone to the US, Australia, UK, and maybe done some exchange students program or something like that, that has enhanced their skills and culture with outside of Colombia. And those people will be excellent. Also, some people that used to live in the US, now they move back to Colombia, and they mostly actually move back to Bogota because that's where the biggest opportunities are at. So you can also target people there, and you're going to find people that used to live in the US and now they don't live there anymore because they were kicked out. That happens, super sad, but that's absolutely something that is very true. The US ends up just deporting these individuals, and these individuals have now developed great English skills and communication skills in English, and also have a huge grasp of the American culture that you may even use and need for putting it together inside of your team. The third city is going to be Cali. Cali is another city that is very well known for salsa, beautiful ladies, great food, and just good weather as a whole. And Cali has a lot of different type of talented people that we actually have hired from. There's another city that I have to mention, and that one is in the coast of Colombia called Barranquilla. Barranquilla offers a lot of opportunities from people. We have hired people that have excellent English. They come from amazing call centers or amazing companies that work for companies like Uber, Virgin Mobile, things like that. Same thing for the capital, Bogota. But Barranquilla offers another type of culture. And here's what you gotta imagine about Colombia. Colombia, it's a country that has over 50 different accents, over 50 types of arepas, and over 50 types of different culture. It all depends in the weather of the city itself. So people in Bogota, which is a colder city, are different than people in Medellín, different than people in Cartagena, different than people in Barranquilla, different than people in Cali, and they all have a big mixed bag of culture, mannerisms, and just way of talking, even accent. So you have to be able to enrich yourself about the culture of Colombia and understand how they actually think and how they do things. Maybe check out some other YouTube videos about it, maybe see some documentaries, and even just travel to Colombia to see it for yourself. Shake hands with different people from different cities and cultures around Colombia itself. You can also visit us at some point here in Medellín, Colombia, if we ever do a meetup. Omer lives here full time, and I live here in Miami and Medellín hybridly. So we'll be happy to even have you here. Guys, if you found any type of value from this episode, Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Subscribe to Omer's YouTube channel, my YouTube channel at Esteban Andrade, Omer YouTube channel at Omer Bloch. We're going to leave the link below here so that you can follow us in social media.
Thanks for watching the video.
Thanks for watching the video.